So here we go again, we're gonna change. Let's get this show on the road, invite a friend. Talk of the town, you gotta speak your mind, so say it out loud. Talk of the town.
Time slated to have been increased. Jamaica in 2017 has a rate of 42.3% reconviction rate after release, which is almost 50%. Based on the information and your knowledge and opinions, do you think corporal punishment could reduce the crime rate? The floor is open.
All right, so I think corporal punishment could reduce the crime rate because, from a psychological perspective, people tend to stop doing things that, if their actions can punish them, then they will more than likely not do it anymore. So, for example, there's this thing in psychology called reinforcement and punishment, where you can actually add something to reduce the likelihood of a behavior. So if you could add corporal punishment into the justice system, then I believe that could reduce the crime rate, because people would be less likely to commit crimes when they realize that there is punishment out there for them. So that's my take on it.
Thank you very much for sharing. Anybody
Go
else would
ahead,
like to take
Janelle Garnett.
Okay.
Hi, good night. Janelle here. All right, so I kind of differ that I believe that corporal punishment would reduce the crime. If you notice that based on the type of crimes that are taking place these days, these persons they don't care about how they carry out the acts. Because if you notice, they're killing children, they're killing adults, so it doesn't matter. So to me, whether or not you implement a corporal punishment, it will not affect them in any shape or form. It won't stop, basically. Because what I noticed, right, most of these persons that are carrying it out, they are young persons. Now, if you can go and shoot somebody in broad daylight, say for example, you cut their throats. I remember an incident where they cut off somebody's head. So I honestly don't believe that implementing corporal punishment will really help these set of persons who are carrying out the act. Probably if it was the older persons, yes, but not these set. I believe that they have made up their mind whether it's either they're gonna die. If it's say go, they just don't care. So I don't believe putting in corporal punishment will help.
Thank you very much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Serena. We're listening.
We'll take one more and then we'll move on to the next.
And also, I think you're missing the point, because we see where they are at now, so maybe we can't change this generation. Yes, accepted. However, if we started to implement this back in our children, it would give them something to, and as I put this out there, respect, because when you teach a child the right thing to do and they don't do it, they must know that there is some action behind that. You can't just keep talking. And this is why I know the criminals are like this. They don't care, because we know that overall the Jamaican society will just talk. We can't even catch the criminals at this time. And so if we implement something from there this young in them, which so when they do wrong, so there's a consequence. There's a consequence to it. They don't care, because when they do wrong, there's nothing behind it, and so you don't develop that sense of respect for society or any kind of attitude. So maybe we can't save this generation, but there's another generation coming up, and so this change will not only impact us, but our grandkids and our children's children. And I'm sure we want to see our grandkids and our great grandkids and our great great grandkids grow up in a society that is right, less crime.
Thank you very much for sharing. I see two more hands. Okay. All right. We'll take two more hands, but I'm going to time you each. You're going to have 2 minutes and then we'll move on. All right. So go ahead, Hall.
I don't think I need 2 minutes, but I agree with what Davis said, because it's not in every situation punishment the best solution? Because sometimes you punish person and it develop a grief inside of them. So I don't think corporal punishment will reduce crime.
Britannia.
Hello, good day. So, for that question, I believe that corporal punishment. When people think of corporal punishment, they automatically think about children. But corporal punishment can be done to adults as well. When you think about certain crimes, for instance, rape and crimes like those, they get such a light sentence, and when they come out of prison, they can basically go again and perpetrate other young females or children. As the state was said before, Jamaicans pay approximately $1.3 million per inmate to take care of them for the entire year, which is more than a lot of people are earning for the entire year. I think that they deserve more punishment. They should get a certain amount of punishment, like beating, flogging, a certain degree of flogging. It will help them to not do it again when they come out, especially for certain crimes, such as sex crimes. A lot of sex crimes, person come out in like 8 years out of prison, a short stuff. I've known persons who have been sexually assaulted, and the person come out of prison in like 2 years. 2 years, the person get convicted for it, go out and they do the same thing again. But if they were being punished and flogged, especially the fact that we are paying our taxpayers' money, when they come out, they're going to reconcile again, and they're going to have to go back into the prison again, and it's the same cycle over and over again. So I think that they should, like, corporal punishment should be put into at least prison sentences. Because sometimes the prison sentence alone is too light for the type of crime that is committed. So it depends on the type of crime. If it's like a drug offense, I think that can be easily part of like a sexual offenses and certain crimes. I think that it should be put in place.
Okay,
Next
thanks for
person
that,
up,
Britannia. Anyone else?
I see
Johnny
Winter's
Winter.
hand. Yes, and then after Winter, Garnet Davis.
All right, good night. So in my opinion, corporal punishment will help but also wouldn't. It depends on the child. However, when kids are young, they haven't necessarily experienced life as yet. They generally don't know the full concept between right or wrong. So to me, when they pick up certain behaviors, when you hit them, they will most likely not do it again because they're not accustomed to pain and the discomfort of it. So they'll connect that with it and most likely not repeat the act. But as I said before, it is based on the child because the more you hit them, the angrier they become. And in most instances, simple stern talk to goes a long way. And like beatings don't change some of them. It gives them a reason to be angry, hence no change or a change for the worse. So it has its advantages in helping, but disadvantages in making it worse.
Thank you very much for sharing. Next person.
All right. So,
no, it's Garnet Davis first and then you.
Oh yes, Garnet, sorry.
All right. So just to add to what the young lady just said, right? Because I was gonna say something similar to what you just said. And if you even go back back in the days when you had the slaves, like we were one of the bad persons. Because if you notice when they used to beat the slaves found a way to retaliate. So yes, I will say that it would help to some extent, but if you look at or crime rate, the types of crime that is happening nowadays, it is just, I don't see how it would help to reduce it. Probably if as I had said earlier, if they had implemented in back in the days, never removed it by like doing the hanging and all of that, well, probably yeah, but no, coming in with no, I really and truly don't think, based on this generation going forward, that it would help. That's just my 2 cents.
All right, Natty, go ahead. Thank you for sharing.
No, they had pretty summed up what I was going to say.
All right, great. I see that we have multiple, personalities, varying personalities, different ways to look at this. Some agree, some disagree.
Hold on, there's one more hand up. I saw Sandy Allen.
Okay, go ahead, Alan.
Hi, good night, everyone. I'm going to agree with Serena in regards to her point that she said we have to implement something because future generations haven't been born as yet. And yes, I do understand when persons say that it will not help some persons. But if we look at life, stuff will affect some persons and it won't affect some. But we still have to try and make a change. And if corporal punishment will change some, at least we can try, because we can't just say it's not going to help. And different methods work for everyone. It doesn't have to be severe, but we have to have some deterrent so that we change the persons who haven't been born as yet. Let them be born and see something different, because the crime is getting out of hand and we have to implement something to stop. So that's just my point of view.
All right, thank you very much for sharing, Alan. I see two more hands. I'm gonna go with Gail and then Natty. So Shanice, you can go ahead.
Hi. First of all, I like the topic, but I was a little bit late. Could somebody please remind me of the question?
All right, no
Okay,
problem.
so
Thank
the
you for
question
joining
is,
us.
the question is,
Okay.
do you think corporal punishment could reduce the crime rate?
It possibly could, Let me tell you, what I realize is that most of the times when you see, like especially the boy children, whenever they're involved in crimes and stuff like that, I realize that it's mostly the ones that like their mother kind of their parents always kind of spoil them or pick up for them. They usually favoritism because they must say, no, no, not my picnic kind of this thing kind of that. And yet still, as always, them are the ones picking up the guns and doing this and doing that. Growing up with corporal punishment, you always say, you know what, me not gonna do this because me know say anyhow me do this when me go home, I go get a beating. Yet still, there is certain levels to this thing because you can't spare the rod and spoil the child, but yet still you must not abuse them because some of them take this corporal punishment thing too far because they're literally abusing the children, and then that is where the children build up this hatred against them and they start to rebel and them go take up gun and drugs and all kind of things. So persons as parents are adults now doing the corporal punishment to the children, they should know that there is a level to this thing. Because when you bring it up to a certain level of abuse, they're going to build up a hatred and a spirit of rebellion is going to take them over. And they're going to want to be against everything that you try to instill, to put into them or to teach them. So with everything, there is some sort of level to it. You should know what is too little and what is too much. But I think it could possibly help the situation, but we should do all things in moderation.
All right, Jenny, thank you so much for sharing. So we're moving right into the next topic, the next category, which is Rumour Runners. So we're gonna ask Natty to take it from here, please.
All right, it's me again. So guys, for our Rumour Runner tonight, I want you guys to just pause 20 seconds and I'm going to ask a question and I want you guys to respond in the chat on whether you heard it or not. So right now, trending on Twitter with a couple thousand tweets and retweets, we have this thing with Miss Lady Saw or Miss Mariam Hall, whichever title you want to call her as. So recently, if you haven't heard, she came and she was having a little ceremony where she was talking and she mentioned a few dancehall artists. And she said, let me pull up the receipt. She basically said that the dancehall artists, and she called a few names, including Spice, Jada Kingdom, Macadamia, and Shensia, saying that they're on a race to hell. And she used the term that some of them not hot anymore. She used a few terms that persons were not in agreement with With that being said, I'm going to ask 3 questions. And that seems to be the controversy with Miss Lady Saw right now. The 3 questions are: 1, do you think it was correct of Lady Saw to judge a dancehall artist considering her past? 2, do you agree with the statements made in regards to Spice, Shensia, and Jada Kingdom? And 3, do you think Mariam Hall's approach to the situation was correct? So let me give you a little backstory too. A lot of persons are where the main concern was coming from is that she converted and she gave her life to God, you know? So people are saying that she should not be meddling in the worldly side of things and she should leave the dancehall artist alone because she was doing the same thing, and how she was speaking about the matter and her tone did not seem very godly or Christian. Like it seemed very judgmental and very, as the word they use, worldly. Right? So guys, what are your thoughts?
If I may take the floor, because I have a lot of thoughts. My thoughts.
Okay.
Jay speaking. So my thoughts on that whole thing. I think that she's being hypocritical and unfair and judgmental. And if she has converted and she's a Christian. To me, her words are speaking from a place of darkness. I don't feel like as a Christian, you should even have those thoughts, much less feel comfortable speaking about people in such a way. You understand? As you can see on the screen, she said Spice is greedy and played out. Shenseea is beautiful, but is nowhere. Jada is weak, and so on. And I feel like there are other ways to approach this also, right? Also, you must know, you have experience in the industry by speaking about these things. You're attracting some kind of drama, some kind of uproar, because you're not speaking against one person. You're speaking against 4, and these are 4 popular dancehall artists at that. So what was the end game? What was the point? What was the reason? If it's a situation where you felt like you wanted to share your religion with them, which they have the right to refuse because they don't have to believe in the religion you believe in, but if you wanted to, I'm sure you could have reached out on a private level. But what was the point? What was the outcome? What is it that you're trying to do? In another way, to me, it kind of seemed like, is she bad mind that she wasn't glowing up? Or like how them a glow up now, she never did glow up then? Why she feel the need for say all these things, and what's the end goal? What's the point? What you're going to achieve?
All right, what a lot of persons were saying, there are a lot of theories going around that 1, the 4 ladies right now have reached a point in their career where they're going with a lot of international artists. We have Spice with Love and Hip Hop on her Grammy nomination. We have Shenseea with her collab with Megan Thee Stallion called Lick. So persons are saying, in a sense, it's kind of a clickbait thing. The second one is that persons are saying that she's not grounded in the switch, like maybe she slowly wants to come back. 3 persons are saying that she's just looking out for them and she does not want them to make the same mistakes that she did. As Mrs. Hall or Lady Saw said that the level that dancehall is at, the women are stooping like so low, and you don't have to show certain parts of your body. And it's like because of the quality of the music, I think she said Shenseea has talent, but her writers are terrible. So she's saying that because of the poor quality of the music, or the bars as we call them, they feel the need to become extremely sexual and extremely, we all know that the incident that happened with Spice and her outfit malfunction, all of that. So persons are saying that 1, is it a bad mind? 2, she just looking out for them. 3, she trying to bring them with her on her Christian path. And 4, she just attack her mind.
All right, we have 3 hands raised. So we're going to take Serena, then Janelle, and then Britannia. Go ahead, Serena.
All right, now get the chance to tap in. Let me say, as a Christian myself, I live in this world, right? And things are happening in this world that will draw your attention. For her to do something like this on social media, yes, one question wrong, one sure wrong. If she did invite the people them out to say yes, she got to make them join her religion, give them an invite, something. She wrong that way. But guess what? for the second point of her calling out these women and what and not, and them arrest the hell, yes, what I never fair point for place to say that right there. So she come out, she says Spice is greedy and played out. I can't tell when last I listened to a Spice song for real. I follow up with Jada Kingdom, I follow up with Shensia because Jada Kingdom sings some song motivational, some are song them sexual, yes, but you have some motivational song, but you real, I should push you out. No, I'm sure every single person in Jamaica is supposed to hear about Lick because it just come out on Friday here. And yeah, look, for anticipate the song is, I can tell you it's plain foolishness, and it is not even about what she has single because when Aisha and they drop equal rights, it never so bad. I mean, people did that out, but the song itself never so bad. Only thing with Chensia's song now, it have good graphics, but it not gone nowhere. It really not gone nowhere. And I mean, I can't tell us when I hear about Aisha. You know, so if you're trending, if you're out there, I love artists like Megan Thee Stallion, you know, these are black women that empower and then push a culture and then push certain type of culture. So and I guess I follow up after it, and I'm saying, yeah, living in this world, I go hear certain things, I go look at certain things. When I just hear the first track I Lick, because I was following up with this song, when Lick just dropped, I was like, I really want this. When me hear the little section was essentially put up, me and say, I hope this is the worst part of the song. I should just publish it now. My only for no, so the worst was yet to come. And so I think her words are true somewhat. I think some of these artists are forgotten. I don't see what the rave is. I see Spice for a couple weeks in Alpha Trend. I mean a couple weeks because I go to church in New Kingston. Some other pastor, but it yeah, as I say, it really played out. So, but yeah, that is it from my end. Until someone brings up something else.
All right, go ahead, Janelle. Thank you so much for sharing, Serena.
All right, so I disagree with some of what Serena just said, but I understand. For Aishana did take some time out from music, so she's not really doing anything right now. But one thing me want to bring up first, listen, ladies are must not come over dancer come to about the people them, because guess what? She used to go on with fear run herself some dirty song where she used to come and talk about people underneath and whatever. Me not expect she to come over dancer. If you're a Christian and you're a true Christian, yes, there are things that will draw your attention. But stay in your lane over the Christian path, contact the people them privately and say to them, say, listen, boy, send them an email, because more than likely probably some of them share them a talk or whatever. But you send them some private message or get a message to their manager or something. But don't come over here and come cast judgment, because people could have did cast judgment on you and they didn't. Them leave you alone. Stay over your lane. If you're bored and you're tired of Christianity, then since you're not being fulfilled over there, then you take your way back in. But this is not the way to put yourself back into dancehall. I don't agree with how she'd go about doing whatever she doing. And me just think say she wrong, she does wrong all over for me. Yes, Blick wasn't what we Jamaicans want, but you see overseas, it'll make a bag of riff over there on TikTok and whatever. At the end of the day, Shensia will always make her money, and that's what she's about. Spice are the same thing. Spice sings songs. So persons are saying that she don't. Yes, she does. She does sing songs, but guess what? They don't connect to the Jamaican audience, and that's just the fact. It doesn't connect to us because that's not what we want to hear. Just like even with Leak, yes, people that expect a bag of lyrics out of. But if you even not follow Sean Paul, when you realize that Sean Paul don't really sing a lot of hits. If most time songs are just basic, but guess what? Because of the collaborations that he does, that is why he's so world renowned and everything overseas. No, even with Jada suffers from mental issues and whatever. But she's not a weak person. To me, she is a strong person. She'll come from far, even though I not agree with a little our outbursts what they, but it's just them But Lady Star must not come over the people over dancer with the foolishness. She need to keep her play stay in her lane over the Christian world because over there. So she says she want to be. So stay over there. Don't come over in a dancehall with you with all of them something because when you sing about you're underneath and when you sing about people underneath and all of them something, nobody never attack about you know this and that. No, yes, people that talk about you, and even you used to talk about your own self. So at the end of the day, don't come and cast a judgment because if people did want to judge, them would have judged you. Them would have come and judge you. So don't come over here with it, lady. Stay over your lane, over the Christian world.
All right. Janelle, thank you so much for sharing. Before we move on to the next 5 persons with their hand raised, just a few things from the comment section. Sandy said, question 1, the Bible said, thou shalt not judge. 2, why do it on social media? Another person said, Lady Star shouldn't be concerned about what is happening in dancehall because she's not a part of it anymore. Exactly. And why did she choose these women? Another person said, in my opinion, she should leave it alone. And this is something I don't like about these Christians, some of them. They judge people too much. She's a Christian, a woman of God. However, she was once a woman of that type of lifestyle. Is she aware that her songs still play? She sung about the same stuff, so her comments were simply crude. And another comment that we see here, she's casting stones, but those words don't seem Christians to me. So she has a valid point, but she uses the wrong approach. Some persons disagree. Mind Christian business and low dance all alone. Talk truth, not gonna lie, living the vibe, loving the vibe. Which outburst Jada do? Jada said she's a lesbian.
Yeah, guys.
There's a room
guys,
in my
another
house reserved
point
for
too.
Jesus. I thought Jada was bi. So the comment section, the chat is going on with some stuff. The next person that was in line, their hand raised was Britannia. So Britannia, go ahead.
Guys, before we continue, guys, one moment. Before we continue, I want us to take into consideration the nature of dancehall and what dancehall music coming from, along with where dancehall music is now. The type of lyrics that are normally used in dancehall and stage shows and all of that. I want you guys to take that in consideration as well.
So my point of view on that is that based on what everyone has said, which is somewhat true, but to me, I think that she is just the way she has spoken was not Christian like at all. Because I mean, even if you believe that okay, what they're doing is wrong and they're singing songs that are not right, it's not Christian like. I mean, you used to do the same thing. You used to do the same thing, and then you think about it. It's not like she said, okay, the song that they're doing are not Christian like, or the song they're doing is wrong. She's basically disregarding their talents. That's what she's doing. She's disregarding their talent, basically stating that, oh, fight is greedy, da da da. But then when I think about it, times are increasing. Dancehall is increasing and it's becoming more popular. People have to go. They're not going to stay on the same level forever. When she transitioned from dancehall to her Christianity and her Christian music, it is like her growing and going to a different level of her life. She has to expect that these artists are going to have to grow, right? She has to expect that these artists have to grow. They can't just look upon someone as a Christian, as a real Christian. Think about it as a real Christian. Even if you think that, keep it to yourself. Talk about it in your home. You're going to come on social media where persons are going to see this and basically clap the people them as if they're nothing. You don't come and say, okay, all right, I'm going to talk to this person. So, some feel like, okay, you must do this and you must do that. And the music are kind of raw and stuff like that. I know that I have done it before, but based on my newfound knowledge and Christianity, I believe this and that. She basically outright come out in the public eye and basically disregard the talent. So I think that was very wrong of her to disregard the person's talent just because of the fact. And I think that the reason why she did it is because of the fact that they are dancehall female artists. They're top dancehall female artists. She don't talk about other female artists. Are on top, talk about top female dancehall artists. But why is that so?
Thank you so much for sharing, Britannia. You finished?
No problem. Yes, I'm finished.
All right, the next person with their hand raised would be Cooley, and then we'll take Serena. After Serena is Dalvin, and then Robinson.
All All right, so night again, everybody. Um, I'm just looking at it from where dancehall was to where it is now. And what Lady Saw did, I don't really agree with her. But at the end of the day, everybody has their own set values and their own opinions. And as for Shensia, sorry, she made her song. She knew it wasn't going to be okay with everybody out there, but she targeted a specific audience, just like Jada Kingdom and all the other artists out there that do dancehall. They target their specific crowd, their specific audience. Whoever doesn't like it, they just have to live with it. If they don't want to listen to it, they move on with life. For who want to listen to it and for who like it, that's up to them. But Lady Saw, she sang about the same things. She did the same things, and right now she just coming back out. She missed the hype and she missed the life of the dancehall vibe, and she just wants to be back in the limelight again. So she's here now, and she wants the little drama and the mix up. So she's here now. There's nothing we can do about that. But everybody has their own opinion and their own thoughts. So
Thank you so much for sharing. Dalvin, go ahead.
Good night, everyone. My views on this is that it's just a woman trying to hold down another woman and block another woman's success, because if she really and truly was thinking about this from an, let's say, ethical and religious point of view and wanted to give them advice, she could have simply sent them a message, right? She didn't have to broadcast it on social media for fame and hype. It goes against her religious beliefs, and I think she knows that. As I said, it's just a woman trying to hold on another woman, and I don't understand why that seems to be a thing among women in society, because how often do you see men having beef like this unless it's in songs, right? So yeah, that's my views on it.
Thank you so much for sharing. Serena, are you ready for us now? All right, we'll go to Robinson until Serena is ready, and then after Robinson, Gail, but
Hi.
Serena is still not ready.
Good night. All right, so my view on this is I don't necessarily agree with what Marian did or said or the approach she took, but at the same time, what was she trying to achieve doing all that? That's what we should really consider. I think that even though her words doesn't match exactly what she did, she probably still had a good reason for doing it. Probably she do want to bring some light to it, but him have to talk in their own language for them understand what she actually mean or whatever. So that's my view on it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Robinson. Could I ask how you pronounce your first name? I'm curious.
My first name is pronounced Olajuwon.
One more time.
Olajuwon, but you can call me Jerry.
All right, Jerry. Nice to meet you, Jerry. Pleasure. The next person will be Gail. But before you go, Gail, I just want to let you know there's a screenshot on the screen from JamaicaStar.com, right? It speaks to Lady Star. Minister Marian Hall, the woman who as Lady Star pioneered slackness among females in the dancehall space, has delivered a stinging rebuke of Spice and Shensia's approach to music. All right, so just letting you know that's on the screen. And a disclaimer for other members, Sheniel Gale is actually visually impaired, hence I was letting her know what is currently being displayed. You can
All
go
right,
ahead.
are you hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing
Hear me
you.
now? All right, so my take on it. And I am a Christian as well, so you can see where I'm coming from. I don't really if it I don't see what she was trying to achieve from this, because if it is that she used to be in that position, right? And she saw where she was heading into danger, and she did a quick U-turn and came out of it, and all right, they saved. She got saved. This is not the way to go about it, trying to get somebody trying to convince somebody that, hey, come out of the danger, come into the light with me. This is not the way to go about it. This is just like a pastor, somebody in his church get pregnant, some mishap happen and they get pregnant before marriage, and then him going put them out in front of the whole church and disgrace the person, and that is not right. We are not supposed to be judging and condemning persons. If it's that you see that they might going off the road a bit or so, you go to them one away or so, because she used to be in that type of work, and I'm sure she have different links, and so I'm sure she can get their contacts and sit down with them one away and say, all right, here what you're doing, this is what used to happen to me, possibly, possibly share her testimony with them or whatsoever. But I'm not even sure how 100% saved she is, because I don't think that this was the proper way to go about it. Because when you approach somebody like this, forcefully and disgracing like this, you think them going to take your words for it and change? It's them not going to do it. If you come to me and beat me down, say me this and me that, me not gonna change. As a matter of fact, me go want war with you. Me not going to want to do what you're saying. So I don't even know what she was trying to achieve by doing this. If it was just some sort of publicity or something. I don't know if it was some sort of publicity stunt or something, but I'm watching to see what else is going to come out of it. Hopefully, she will come out and say what her intentions were.
Thank you, Shaniel, for sharing. So we're going to take from Kule and then Nati, and then we'll move on to the third category. Go ahead, Kule.
All right, so putting everything aside, right, and looking at it from a different point of view, as women, we are all out here and we're demanding respect from men, right? We're all out here and we're fighting and we're demanding the respect from men. But you have these influential women dragging each other down, fighting with each other on social media. How does that portray us to the men that we're trying to demand respect from? It's going to make us look like we're nothing, and they can continue treating us anyway because we allow each other to treat us that way. So that's what I don't understand. And they're big on feminism and all of this and all of that, but they're still the same ones bringing each other down.
Thank you so much. Before you go, Nati, let me just see what's happening in the chat here. All right, so I see that we have in the chat that I don't know whichever way she get vexed, because I not expect that, but to each his own. It all comes down to the fact that she did not voice her thoughts in the right way. There is a time and place for everything under the sun. Yes, it's not what was said, more of how it was said. And why is reprimanding them now? Why is she reprimanding them? No, there is so much to this. Clearly, they have something she wants, exactly what the other woman in dance hall. What about the other woman in dance hall? And what about the male artists? Why didn't she talk about them? Good question. In all honesty, he spoke straight facts. Men do not bring each other down the way females do, especially Black females. It's just weird to me. As a Christian, she should pray for them rather than judging them publicly. Precisely. No love in her message. All right. All right, guys. So, Nati, you can go ahead.
It's not more of like what she said was the issue. It was more of how she said it. It came off as aggressive, and it's in humans' nature. Once we feel attacked, they are not going to have that welcoming feeling to welcome whatever message she was trying to give off or like that. All of us can probably speak for it that if nobody ever come to us in a way where they come off aggressive or like they're trying to belittle you or judge you, we automatically put our walls up. So, and we as Jamaican, we don't like people judge you, especially if you're the person that used to do the same thing. You know, the saying, Patakos Kettle say black? Yeah, it's the same situation here. So Miss Hall used to do way worse, because as she was the queen of dancehall back back in those time. And she used to be worse. That's the reason why she was banned from some fest, because her behavior was, can't even go into detail with that. So I don't know what she was trying to get at, honestly, because I don't think that was the approach, especially of her coming from a Christian perspective. I get where she was hopefully trying to go with that message, but it was just the wrong time. And see, no, she have Spice make video about her in her live. She have Shantia slapping back. So she's supposed to know how dancehall stay. I don't understand why she trying to change that culture, one. And two, I never heard no male's name get called. None of the males in dancehall sing about things that actually, to me, not saying that over sexualizing is not affecting us, but they're singing about a lot of things in the male aspect of dancehall: killing, drugs, sex, everything they're talking about in the male aspect of dancehall. So why were none of those mentioned? Why it is the female specifically that getting attacked? Female dancehall is, as most part, always been about over sexualizing female. They know they did get themselves in a, that's how their career is based, you know. When we hear dancehall for female, that's what comes to our mind. So I don't know, honestly. As I say, right, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say she had the right intention. She just did not know how to express it.
All right, guys, I'm going to ask you when you're in the meeting to please use your official name so that when we're marking the register and the attendance, you know, your name will be captured. Because remember, we have the starring system, and another way to earn points is to attend the meetings. Ensure that you're using your appropriate name. I see a 3S, I'm not sure who it is, but just use a name if you want to be marked on the attendance. If not, enjoy the show. We're going to be moving into the next category now, which I'll be emceeing. Fun time. So confession story time. So what's the craziest thing you've ever seen with your own eyes happen in church? Now, I'm going to show you some findings from a Twitter thread, and it was very, very interesting. So brace yourself. The first one is, one lady testified about her cheating husband, and the mistress ended up in a car accident. She said it was God's plan because he don't mess with his kids. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree that it was God's plan? So someone said, I'm sorry. I just thought God was for a forgiving God. As she said, it was God's plan. All right. Karma's schedule was clear, so she was first on the list. Kevin was the craziest thing in Jamaica, I know. That's Kevin Smith. If you don't know who that is, oh my, you need to read up. So I see we have a few hands raised. We have Chanel Gale and then Britannia. So Chanel, you can go ahead.
So both the husband and the mistress ended up in a car accident? Or just the mistress?
How I'm reading this, it seems like it's just the mistress that ended up in a car accident, because it said one lady testified about her cheating husband and the mistress ended up in a car accident. So I think it's just the mistress that was in the car accident.
I'm not sure about that one because...
No, it seems like it was both, because she said her cheating husband and mistress. So it seems like it was both.
Oh man, if you read the flow of the message, it says one lady testified about her cheating husband and mistress ended up in a car accident. So
you're leaving out the whole. You're reading without the whole.
Oh, how?
It says one lady testified
wow, it's
about
right there.
how.
Man, I tell you, yes, I didn't see the whole, completely skipped it out. So one lady testified about how her cheating husband and mistress ended up in a car accident. So the two of them crashed together. Wow. Toxic love. So I see in the comment section.
It could depend, you know, because there have been situations in where, let me give an example. In church, where you have persons who have been under, like say for example, they have a neighbor, and everything they do, the neighbor have a problem. They try to plant a tree, the neighbor kill it. The neighbor do this to them, the neighbor do that to them. And they go to God. They go to God about it and pray about it and ask God to do something about it. And either God will do something like the neighbor get thrown out, say a rent house, the landlord throw them out of the house, or them take down sick or something, and that kind of show them a sign, and them don't trouble them again after that. But this this could be this could either be just the husband, and it depending on what if the wife was praying about it, praying hard about it, it could be that, you know, something happened there, but it could just be their own recklessness, really. So you can't even really say if it was God's. None of us know God's state of mind. None of us can really tell if it was God's plan. So you can't really say for sure, because none of us know. None of us knows God's plan unless
Alright.
it's something specifically written in the Bible.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing. Do we have anybody else that would like to say anything? Oh, before we go, there are a few comments in the chat section. So, thought testimony was an every church thing. Bill, you cannot hold them. Some pastors study the Bible way too deep. Please remember that the very same King James was a homo. There are a number of things I don't understand where the Bible is concerned. How is it that they convince Africans that polygamy is illegal and homosexuality is a human right? Oh my, I don't think I can read all these messages. 50 messages? You guys are busy. 50 messages? Oh my goodness. Your church sounds fun. Listen, where religion is involved, I really don't know what to say. Anything with church. It's my granny church, so I guess you're related to her because I'm not hearing the moral of your story either. Church festive bad. Yes, church festive bad. A lot of laughing emojis, nice. Grab it up, let it laugh. People have nothing to carry on. Hey, y'all don't want me at your church. Murder. Your church is a different type of festive. If Jesus not busy, come here. Night officially made. I can imagine the graphics are there. I'm never ready. Rastaja, it's your impression of the man voice for me, boy, right? So church nights, me I forgot start go. Laugh my ass off. It was like that. No, sir, I can't manage. Church nights, especially when you sit near the church gossipers. All right. Oh boy. Thank you for everyone that participated in the confession storytime section. Unfortunately, this is the end, but please be reminded that this is just basically like a taste test, like when you got, wine tasting, you just get a little tips for the wine to test and see if you like it. So this is just a sample of what our segments will be like. I'm going to be moving on to the closing remarks, which will be handled by our president, Serena.
Oh my God, my whole tone has changed. The meeting was so festive and everything. I could hear people talking. I know that everybody is festive, and I am saying that the whole exec enjoyed your presence here. We all enjoyed our presence here together as members, and we'll wrap. And I'm saying thank you for all those who come out.
All right. In the meantime, guys, so yes, our next club meeting will be next week, Saturday, which is February 5th at 9 p.m. guys. We will be sending out the Zoom information on our flyers, as well as in the group, the Telegram group, the WhatsApp group. Join the Telegram groups. The link is in the chat, so please click it before you leave. Join the Telegram group, join the WhatsApp group. When you join those platforms, you'll have access to the Instagram link, so you can follow our Instagram page, guys. So please tell a friend and come again next week. Look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to the openness. All right, enjoy the rest of your night. Hopefully you can share some of what you heard with your family members and have another laugh at home. So sleep good, guys.
And remind them about the starring system that already I remember the prizes and everything that's going to come next, because you have to invite people to come. The more persons you invite, the more stars you get. And at the end of the term, the starring system, the top 5 persons that got the stars, they're going to get prizes, and you want to stick around to see what the prizes will be.
And guys, it's not no lele plating little prize we are giving away. We're going to give away some nice prizes. So support your club, come to meetings, participate in our little WhatsApp chat. Invite a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And guys, I love the energy here tonight. I would say it was a good introduction meeting. You guys made my night, not gonna laugh, have me in here a role, and I did with laugh. So I just want to thank you guys once again for coming. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to the next meeting. Oh, and guys, if you have any ideas also for the confessions topic, feel free to DM one of the executive members and we will consider it for the next meeting. If you have any ideas, feel free to share. It's an open space. And with
And
that,
if there
good
are
night,
any
everyone.
questions
Thanks
that
again.
you can reach out to us.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming out.